In this video, we're going to take a look at a very simple, convenient way that you can test your family's water right in your own home for some very common contaminants. That's coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So again, we all know that water is important to life. As a scoutmaster, it's something I always have to think about when I take my guys out into the field. And as a licensed master plumber, it's actually part of my job. And even though here in the United States we have a very comprehensive water treatment system almost everywhere, and almost all the water that comes out of your tap is safe to drink, you do hear horror stories and scary stories. Dearborn, Michigan is an obvious example, but many older municipal water systems have been shown to have lead in the water, which is also a very high health risk. So the folks at Test Assured were kind enough to send me one of their complete water analysis test kits, which allows you to test your family's water for 10 common contaminants right in the convenience of your home. No sending it to a lab or anything like that. So let's take you down to the old Stump Top studio and show you how easy it is to use this test kit to test your family's water. All right, here are the contents of the Test Assured Complete Water Analysis Test Kit. Okay, it comes with very clear, easy to read instructions. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take a water sample of your water. I recommend using a clean glass bottle because glass is inert. It won't add anything to the water. So we'll start with a bacteria test because that is the longest term test. It takes 48 hours for the bacteria test to be complete. So we'll go ahead and start that one so we can get it going. After you remove the film from the vial, just open it up very carefully. You'll notice it's got some powder in it. You don't want to spill that, but that's your bacteria growth powder. That's going to help. That's going to provide the testing. And then take your water, and it says to pour the water about a ½ inch below the top. And there's a little line where it says where the 5 millimeter line is. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's a 5 milliliter line. You just want to fill it up to that. So we're gonna kind of do that right now. Okay. That's pretty close. It's close enough. Then just screw the cap back on tightly, and then shake it forcefully for 20 seconds. Okay, we're shaking it for 20 seconds. Now the next step is you want to place it in an upright, warm area between 70 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and just where it won't be disturbed, and let it sit for 48 hours. In this case, we're going to put it behind the old stump here in the shade, and we'll check that in 48 hours. So that's the bacteria test. The next longest test period is going to be for the lead and pesticides, so we'll do it next. The other ones are pretty much instantaneous. In this case, we're going to make sure we open the full pouch that contains the lead and pesticide test kits. Okay, inside the test kit, you'll find a test vial, a little water pipette, 2 test strips, and one of these little desiccant packs that you can just throw away. In order to do the lead and pesticide test, you want to take the pipette, and if you squeeze, what's going to happen is you squeeze the top bulb, the water is going to pull up into the bottom, and you want to put exactly 2 dropperfuls into this small vial. So we'll just do that now. There's 2. So there's not really very much water in there, but that's what it says to do, so that's what we'll do. Then swirl it up just for a few seconds to make sure the water is mixed up well. Then, so if you take a look at the test strips, they actually have little arrows on them at the bottom there. You want the arrows pointing down and place both of them into the vial. Then set it aside for 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. We'll take a look at the lead and the pesticide test. Just pull them out of there. The lead is yellow and the pesticide test is blue. And there's a little blue line that shows up. If the blue line is closer to the 1 than the 2, then your test is negative, which means you do not have that contaminant. So in this case, we're in lead, and you can see hopefully that the little blue line is closer to the 1 there. So that means that we do not have lead, which is good. And then the pesticide is going to be the same indication. You got a line at the 1 and the 2. Whichever one's darker is the one you're looking for. And hopefully you can see that one. It is darker next to the 1. So no pesticides either. So that makes me feel really good because my family's drinking this water. Okay, next you're going to test your water for total chlorine, copper, nitrate, and nitrite. And basically you're going to have this color chart, and you can compare some colors on little test strips with this. So we'll open up that. So there's going to be 1 test strip here, and it's got 4 little pads on it. Each one of those pads is going to be for a different contaminants we're testing for. So we're going to fill this test vial up to about a ¼ inch from the top with water. Now remove the test strip. We're going to pick it up on the end with no pads. You can see it's got these little pads on here. Okay, we're going to pick it up on the blank end. And we're going to put it in here and swirl it 3 times and remove it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we remove it. Now, immediately read the chlorine pad by comparing it to the chart. Here's the chlorine chart. And we're looking at between 1 and 3 parts per million, if you can see that. Between 1 and 3 parts per million. And we're somewhere right in there. So that's your chlorine level of the water. Next, read the copper test. So we'll look at the copper test is down here, and that is the second tab from this end. So we're looking at somewhere around 1.3 parts per million, maybe about in there. Does that look about right to you? Then it says wait 45 seconds, read the nitrate and the nitrite test. So the nitrite nitrogen is going to be the third one here, right here, and that is actually looks pretty close to 0 as far as I can see. And then finally the nitrite test is the one that's closest to your fingers now, and that looks pretty close to 0 too, which I'm guessing is a good thing. So that is the chlorine, copper, nitrate, and nitrite test. Next, we'll check for alkalinity, pH, and hardness. So we're going to dump this out because we don't want to contaminate our results with anything that might have been on this test strip. Just rinse it out one time. Fill it up again to 1/4 inch from the top. You'll see it has 3 pads on it. This one does. And it says to dip it in for 1 second and remove. So here we go. 1001. Bam. Hold it up level and wait 10 seconds. Okay, we start with the alkalinity, which is going to be the one closest to the opposite end that you're holding. And it's showing that we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 0. The next we're going to go to the pH. pH is the center one. We're looking right here somewhere in the neighborhood of, I'm guessing that is about right between 6 to 6.5. So slightly, reasonably acidic water. And then finally we'll do the hardness. The hardness is the blue one, and we're looking at about 0 parts per million in hardness, which is pretty common for Georgia and the Atlanta area here anyway. Just hard water is not really an issue here. So the next and final test we'll do is for iron. Once again, rinse the vial out, fill it 1/4 inch from the top. And then we've got a little tablet here. The little tablet is your iron reagent tablet. It tells you do not eat this, so don't eat it. There it is. Place it in the test vial. Place the cap on and shake it until it completely disintegrates. Okay, disintegrated. Now, remove the iron test strip from the package. Do not touch the pad with your fingers, so make sure you just get the little white end. There's a little white pad on the end of it, as you can see right there. And it says, immerse the pad in the sample for 2 seconds. 1001, 1002. Then it says remove it, shake it once to remove the excess water, and then wait 60 seconds and compare it to the color chart. So we will wait 60 seconds. Okay, through the miracles of editing, it has been 60 seconds. So now we can compare this with the iron chart here, and that's the one on bottom here. And as you can see, it looks like it's pretty much 0. So we have 0 parts per million of iron in my water. So that's the iron test. Pretty simple. Okay, we are back here. It's been 48 hours and 30 minutes. So we're going to take a look at, see how well we did on the bacteria test. Okay, so here is the vial, and you can see it has a distinctive purple color. And the instructions say, by the way, purple color is negative result, which means I don't have any nasty bacteria in my water. That's a really good thing. All right. Well, that is a quick look at just exactly how easy and simple it is to test your family's water for these common contaminants. Really, the only concern I have about mine right now is the chlorine level, which appears to be somewhere between 1 and 3 parts per million. I don't like chlorine, but the good news is chlorine is really, really easy to get out of your water with just all kinds of basic filters. So other than that, it's good to know that my water is essentially really clean. But I didn't know that until I tested it. So, and I think that's one of the value of having a test kit like this. It's just peace of mind. If you do have some higher readings on here, then you'll know at least it's worth your time and investment to maybe do some more extensive testing, send it off to a laboratory. But here's the website, it's wellwatertesting.com. I'll put a link below so you can go check it out and get your own test kit. I think it's well worth the $30 that the test cost, if for peace of mind, if nothing else. Once again, thanks to the folks at Test Assured for sending me this test kit so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't done so, I'd invite you to. I put out a new video every Friday and every Saturday, and usually a couple of random ones throughout the week. And thank you so very much for supporting this channel by doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links at survivalonpurpose.com/Amazon. I really appreciate the support. Another way you can support the channel is to check out a free 1-month trial subscription to audible.com. You can download a free audiobook. If you like it, stay subscribed. If you don't, just cancel it. But either way, it helps support the channel, and I really appreciate it. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.